Might help if I unmute the mic. What's up, everybody? It's time for live track feedback. We're bringing it in today with the track from Wes, who makes some amazing liquid DNB. This one is called Come Home, and it's coming out on Herculean Recordings. I'm not sure when, but pretty soon. So we're going to take a second, make sure my stream is coming up. And when we get up, we're going to do track feedback and talk about sound design, song structure, and mixing to make sure your tracks have original sounds moving around that sound like somebody's tweaking knobs, because that's what it's all about. And we want to have the arrangement arrive at a peak, a climax, take us on a little journey, return back to where we started, build a peak, drop a beat, all that stuff. That's what it's all about with the arrangement, the song structure, the composition. Sometimes we even talk about music theory if your bass line's not lining up with your chords or if something's going weird with the harmony. And then, of course, we talk about the mix. Wes posted a track and asked for a comment about the mastering on this. We're going to listen through, possibly at a point when I'm not talking, and check out how the mastering sounds. And you know, your mix has to just do a couple things, have a stereo width that feels right, full frequency range, something happening on all the highs, mids, and lows, and drop good bass, which is what we all need. So where is my broadcast? I want to make sure I can see what your comments are. This should be going through to the Facebook group and the YouTube channel, but I'm watching on the Facebook group because that's where everybody's at. And one other little thing about this week is I want to try and minimize the number of private messages coming in. In the past, people would send me tracks live, but you know what happens is, like, when that builds up too many, I end up like chatting and pinging, and this like noise keeps going on while we're listening to the music, and it's a little too distracting. So I wanna minimize that. Ooh, Charles Franco. Okay. All right, looks like we got Todd here, we got Ian Waters, and Charles. So I can see you guys, you can see me. Right now we're listening to Wes, and let me just get my audio monitor so I know how loud to go. And let me turn this up a little bit. How's the mastering on this track? That's the question. All right, I'm doing a little bit of punk mastering with a high shelf EQ boost, a low shelf EQ boost, and a little tiny mid-range dip. That's almost like cheating. You could do that to any track. Any DJ can grab the 3 EQs, boost the highs, boost the lows, cut the mids, turn it up louder, and it's gonna sound better. So don't take it too seriously. But I was wondering if the high end, how do you feel about the high end? Do you think, did you like it when I boosted the highs? I felt like that amen drum break, like that high frequency could be a little. Check this out. Personally, from how I'm hearing it, I like a little bit of a lift on the high end on this track, just a little high shelf boost, which in mastering could be like 1.5 dB, you know, from 10,000 hertz and up. What do y'all think about the high end? Do you think that could use a little more high end, or what do you hear on your end? Ian Waters is a little spaced out. Alex, what's up? Other than that, this track is amazing. It's cool sound. It's got the beautiful piano, atmospheric pad synth texture, like good liquid DNB floating around through space. Drum breaks, low end. Track sounds great to me. Maybe just a little high shelf boost. And it's a 6-minute track, so I'm gonna let that play while I look through and see who else is in here. Todd, did you put in a track this week? I'm looking to see if you got something. Okay, we got one coming up from Ian Waters. Peter May, Scott Burke. All right, Charles is saying, I like to use a 1.5 dB aperture to use the high shelf. Finding the sweet spot. Yeah, cool. Really nice track, comes down to a nice ending. Good one for the beginning today. And notice, for reference, that's my room noise. Because it's hot up here on the 3rd floor, man. I got an air conditioner running so you don't see me dripping sweat all over my push. Ian, sounds like it needs a nice deep kick as another layer to me, but I have a different need from music. Well, you know, I mean, you could always boost up the kick a little bit. Usually that's going to sound pretty good. It gets to a point in mastering where boosting up the kick, you don't even notice that the kick gets louder. You feel like the mids and highs got quieter. You know, it's like that inverse kind of thing where you push the kick up, but the effect is that everything else has to come down, because at the mastering level, or at the mastering stage of production, you're up to the top of the headroom. There is no more room. So if you want to put one thing louder, something else has to come down, and that could be the balance of just lows and highs. Passive EQs are interesting like that because they're like subtractive rather than additive. So here we go. DJ Waters, Book of Wisdom, version 7. Damn! Got you with the kick drum, though. This really sounds good. A lot of layers. Still feels clean when every new layer comes in.
The first chapter in the Book of Wisdom.
Vocals are definitely better. I'm reading your comments as you completely remade the vocals. All right. I'm digging it, man. This sounds great. Turn my phone off. Okay, we're at minute 45. Make sure I undo my EQ from the last track. Nice impact. Oh, I remember this. The bass line at the end goes down from that. Yeah. Jasper is here. What's going on?
The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing.
Don't let that be you. It's really crisp, Ian. It's like really bright. You know, the high end is like wide and bright on top and crisp. Feeling good? Do you mind if I skip ahead a little bit? I'm just gonna go out to like 3 minutes and hear how we get into the next drop. 3:15.
Spread love everywhere you go. Let no one ever come to you without leaving happier.
Umberto, almost all synths usually have reverb, short or long, or some kind of reverb. It's like putting salt on your vegetables. Just put it on there.
Judge everyone and everything for yourself.
I like that double kick drum. Boom, boom. At 410. Let me hit that again. 405 right here.
Judge everyone and everything for yourself.
Little white noise, like a little sweep riser, and then a double kick drum to announce a new song section. That's really good composition. Really simple, but works really well. Yeah, the kick drum sounds great. Let me skip through 450. I'm looking for that ending that goes to the bass and bass line and drums kind of dub section.
Learning never exhausts the mind.
Yeah, 5 minutes. I like this part the best. Solid, man. Yeah, this part takes you deep. And in the background, you're like, beat match to the next record. Trying to beat match a long trance intro with no rhythm in it. I like that filter movement.
Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant.
And we're into the outro at 6 minutes. This is solid, man. It sounds so good compared to where we came from a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I don't know what you mean about the happy ending. Oh shit, I forgot to change the name on the broadcast. I'm sorry, everybody.
Never tried, ever failed. No matter. Try again, fail again, fail better.
I totally forgot to change the title up top, so for the whole beginning of that song, people might have thought they were listening to Wes. Sorry, y'all. I'll keep on top of that. All right, Ian, dude, this track sounds so good. You really worked on it a lot, and now I think it's done. Everything's working. I didn't notice a single thing that needed to change. Maybe if you send that out for mastering, you could come back and ask us what we think about the mastering. But I do not have any other comments, so good for you. What do we got? I noticed Martin Atling was writing a lot of comments. And if, by the way, if you're watching and you have a track in this week, let me know in the chat and tell me to play your track, because I do want to play tracks from people who are here, but I don't want to get 20 million private messages because that messes up my flow. So to keep it moving, we did Ian Waters, and let's check out this track from Peter Majewski. Let me make sure I got the most recent version of this one. Yep. All right. Peter May, not yet titled. Let's see what we got. And he put some nice notes on there to tell us what's going on with it. So here we go. I like those drum breaks. Oh, this track goes really well with the one we just heard. Big kick drum. Little acid filter tweaks. And for feedback, Peter's looking for advice mainly on the melody. Rough mix. How does the pluck melody complement the lead? All right, that filter moving's making a nice build up. I like it. Minute 20. I think those drum breaks could be louder. Okay, that's a key change coming in here. Yeah, it is a happy vibe track. Jesper, I see your link. What I want you to do is please put your links under the track feedback post with all the other comments and comment on some other people's tracks so that we can see your comments and get you involved with everybody else. Okay, breakdown 2 minutes and 30. Kind of shifted to a dark feel, a minor key. Okay, so Peter was asking a question about the lead, melody, sound, and the pluck. I think this is where the plucks are happening. Three minutes. Rocking a nice long breakdown. Okay, we're almost at 4 minutes right now, totally in the build. Right now, the pluck is kind of having some competition with that swishy high-frequency lead. You could fix that by putting like a bandpass filter on the pluck and moving it into a little bit more, like more mid-range thing, not trying to have it in the high frequencies. And a good hard drop. It's interesting harmonies. The chords are kind of complex. Right there. It almost feels like a diminished chord is happening. Yeah, the chord progressions are a little unexpected and the melody is like a little too simple for the chord progressions. So I don't think there's a problem with the sound design between the plucks and the melodies. I think that the melody is not always playing the right note on top to go with the chords. This part is cool. I'm not going to try and give advice on the melody right now. That's a little more complicated with a chord change going on. I like this part though. What did I say before around 1:20 that the drum breaks could come up? Let me rewind back to that part. Here we are at 49 coming up. Okay, that's right at 1:20. Check this out. If we made these drum breaks louder, right there, they could be a lot snappier and louder and just out front in the mix to accentuate that drum break. Let's check out the ending. Again, 6 minutes. more time. 6.5 minutes. Yeah, make those drum breaks louder. Those little drum fills are the really like spicy part of a break that really tells you something is changing into a new section. So make those nice and loud. And we're in the outro build down. Okay, so for sound design, this track is cool. There's a lot of interesting sounds. Totally filters moving all over the place. Nice acid kind of lines, so that's cool. The arrangement is good, but the chord progression and the melody on top are a little weird. There is something where the melody notes are not, the note on top of the melody is not exactly harmonizing the chords. So the chords are doing some kind of complex changes, and the melody feels a little bit out sometimes. So I don't think, in the original post, Peter was asking about the sound of the plucks and the melody lead. I don't think it's the sounds that are a problem. I think the notes, the key change doesn't sound natural. So maybe try reworking the melody or playing around with the notes in the melody line to feel what you can do to make it so your ear follows smoothly, like the voice leading, like the melody doesn't jump in big steps. It kind of goes continuously and harmonizes different chord tones. Rob Connolly, what's going on? All right, where is Andreas? Let me pull up your track and remind me to change the title on this one so we know we can read on the screen. That was a really good idea to ask for a banner up top to say what track we're listening to. And I saw a special post earlier. Let me scroll up and find it. Andrea Bedoya, in my first time in a feedback post, makes some melodic and hard techno. Let's check this out and see what it sounds like. Here we go.
Simplemente nace para ser feliz. Es como si toda su vida se centrara en un punto en el que sos feliz. A mí toda la vida me mintieron.
Vocals sound really good. Nice and clean on top. I think maybe the kick drum could be bigger. Feels like the low end is not as full as a techno track. I'm gonna turn up my mix here. Got the good low rumble though. Dum dicka dum dicka. Cool sounds, like getting drawn in here. So are you using layered kick drums? It feels like there's more than one kick drum. I'm kind of curious, Andrea, how many kick drums are in there? Okay, I'm gonna skip forward a little bit. Here we are at 3:30. Another breakdown. Coming up on 4 minutes. Hey, Matt Schultz, I was just listening to the kick drum on the big speakers. Yeah, the low end has a nice like underneath, like oof, oof, oof. But it doesn't have like super top end. It needs a little bit of a mix. The vocals are really clear on front and the synths are really clear too in the mid-range, which is good. A lot of times people making this kind of hard, deep techno have way too much low end and the synths get buried. So you did a good job to bring out the vocals and the mid-range instruments. The low end though, I can feel that there is in the track that there's a rhythm that's like dun dika dung dika dung dika dung dika dung. I know that's in there, but it's not totally clear. The way this mix is presented, it's more like whoa 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 whoa, and the in between rhythm, like the subtle rhythm of the low end, is not super clear. But it's in pretty good shape. I'm looking for a place with one of the kick drums in a layer. Okay, right here at 140, 145. Right there for just a second, one of the layers dropped out and we heard a clean kick with no bass. That's always fun. I always like it when producers put in a little tiny section of only the kick drum or only the sub bass, so I can really hear what those two elements are. Because when they're combined, you're not really sure, is it like, how many parts is it or whatever. So right there at 145, we hear the kick drum by itself without the rumble. One more time. And I can hear the kick drum. It does have a high end click and a low end in it. Ian Waters is saying add another layer. I'm not sure if I would add another layer. What I would do is I would work with the sub bass rumble to actually cut a little bit of the sub frequencies out of that rumble. So you have the kick drum with a low like doof doof coming down, and the rumble can be up higher. It could be like 90 hertz or 100, and cut in between the kick drum bumps and still have a nice like low feel. Believe it or not, the bass line doesn't always need to be completely down as deep as the kick drum. So that's the biggest mix tip I would have for you, is work on the low end. I know if you don't know how to, it could be kind of hard, but the low end needs a little bit of work. And other than that, it's surprisingly clear on all the highs. Like here we are at 245, the synths on top are good. There's a lead melody, a pluck thing. The vocals are crisp. So good job with the mix overall is good. The song form is cool. It goes through drops and breaks, vocal section, talking about happiness and everything, or not being happy. So the music is doing everything it needs to do. It just needs a little bit of low end mixing, and I know that can be kind of hard to figure out, but overall, not bad. So thanks for sharing, Andrea, and thanks for posting in the feedback crew. So let's move on to another track. This one is from Jesper, who's always dropping interesting beats. Humberto is saying saturation and compression for the low end. Yeah, you can make a parallel track where it's like getting a feed from the low end and fuzz it out, saturate it, compress it, really squash it down and make a nice buzzy copy that kind of gives you more of the details of what's happening down bottom. That's a good strategy too. So here we're gonna go listen to Tenka and Ronan, Back to You. This is unreleased. I'm gonna label our feed.
Operation Icebreaker. Breaking ice. Domingo Guillardo Molina. We got a new player.
Yeah, Matt, I agree. The low end is hard because it takes acoustic space. Okay, we got a 6-minute jam coming in right here. Arp Deli, how you doing?
Rhythm Beaker, there's a volume metric
to be with them?
Ooh, nice kick drum. Jesper, your tracks always come sounding so good.
And only then we cook.
I was told that the man I would meet was very careful, cautious man. I believe we're alike in that way. If you are,
2 minutes, 30 seconds. Getting into the breakdown.
I would be forever yours. It is the purest, most chemical sound.
I like those sounds.
You don't hear this one coming back for you. Back for you.
Triplets, whoa. Hold on, I want to go back to the end of this little breakdown. There's a sound going whoop, 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 whoop.
It is the purest, most chemical sound.
That sound I would like to be louder.
You don't hear this one coming back for you.
Jesper, do you have this session available? Can you mix this again, or is this an old track you cannot get back to?
Back for you. Back for you.
It's like triplet eighth notes. Ba, 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 ba. That's a cool rhythmic change. Nice bass.
Back for you. Back for you. Back for you. Back for you. Back for you.
Good filter sweep. Okay, I'm gonna pause here. I'm gonna just talk about stuff that I hear that everybody else could use in a track. I have a hard time giving Jesper comments because like there's not really like a lot of problems. But what I'm hearing right here is that there's a synth going dot 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 dot, and there's a filter moving and opening it up. So listen to what this filter does. The best kind of buildups come from sounds that are in your mix already. So listen to this synth, right? Kind of short.
Back for you. Back for you. Back for you. Back for you. Back for you.
Right there, to make a build-up, he extended the release time on those synth notes. So as you got closer to that little peak, the notes changed from going fast, like dun, 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 and then they got longer, like down, 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 down. Check this out again, right around 3.5 minutes.
Back for you. Back for you. Back for you.
Right here it goes. And then at the drop, they cut back down to being short. So a really great build-up technique is to just have a synth doing short, stabby notes. And then when you're ready for a build-up, open up the release time, make the notes longer. It works really well. And if you do it together with the low-pass filter opening, it gets crazy. I gotta stop also. That little, where'd it go? That sound is awesome. Back to you. Yeah, Humberto, I agree. Nice layering. And 4 minutes. Now we're in space. Thanks for hanging out with me today, everybody. I'm always happy to see people here. Charles Franco, your track is up next. 4 minutes, filtering the white noise. So that sound, if you like that, I don't know if everybody here, maybe you know how to do this already, but we have a white noise sound with the filter moving and it's pulsing with an LFO, which you could achieve by sidechaining the white noise or filtering it. And here comes the build-up. Again, those little delay. Make those louder. Oh, no way. Hold on. You just wrecked everybody with that. I want to hear that one more time. Oh my God, that drop. You want to hear that again? Yes, right here. One little closed hi-hat can make it go crazy. Guys, if you want to send me a track, send me one link and don't chat, don't ping extra messages. Just one link, that's it. Aileen, yeah, Umberto, I'll check my email, thank you. So good. Okay, Aileen, gotcha.
Breaking ice.
Breaking the ice.
Chemist is blown away, said he couldn't do the same thing better. Worse yet.
An Erlenmeyer flask. It's a space industry, yo.
We're in business.
All right, I'm going back to that build-up. Comment from Matt Schultz. Easy sidechain LFO you can get from the AutoPan device. Turn the phase to 0, play with the other parameters. I totally agree. Here we go, 4 minutes to 45. I could play this all day. And do you hear that little tiny... I want to point this out. There's a little tiny high frequency little blink. It's like chiki chiki, like a chirp or something. I want to identify what sound that's on. So we're going to hear the drop again. So count how many channels it takes to create this effect. When you strip it down to this huge drop, there's a kick drum, the bass line going did it. There's a snare layer, and there's some little high chirpy thing that might be an element of the bass. Bit crusher, yeah? Let's count how many different sounds it takes to achieve this drop. Kick drum, bass line, bit crushed high frequency, and a snare that might be layered, and some growls, and a down lifter, and another percussion element. Another percussion element. I mean, that beginning of that drop was only 4 sounds, and then they're adding in new sounds every couple beats. Let's count how many beats it takes to layer up the sounds. 1, 2, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So like every 4 bars on that hi-hat. So to get, what I want to do is have everybody be able to make huge epic drops like that. And it's funny that the most epic thing about it is that there's nothing there. Like there's silence before it. It kicks in with a kick drum, a bass line, 1 snare drum, and a little bit of high frequency thing that's almost subconsciously, you don't even notice it. So you could achieve that with 3 sounds, like kick drum, sub bass, and a snare. And then you wait 4 bars and drop a percussion layer. After 8 bars, bring in that closed hi-hat, and every new sound after that makes it more hyper. It's so crazy. The hardest drops are the emptiest sounds. I mean, you could do it with a 3-channel mix, a 4-channel mix. That's crazy. I love that stuff. Umberto, how many sounds at the time are considered too many? Well, when it gets crowded and the mix feels like it's all noisy and mushy and there's not definition of what's happening. I mean, think about if you're cooking, right? And you take everything in your whole entire spice rack and dump it all in the soup. And you're like, I don't know, it tastes like there's too many flavors. It's a little bit like that. Or an example of too many sounds is like, you know, when I'm watching a live show, if you can see a whole bunch of people on stage and you look at them, but you can't clearly identify what sound they're making, like if there's a keyboard player on stage and they're jamming out and you can see their hands moving, but in the mix, you can't really hear the keyboard. That's kind of like too many sounds where things are conflicting with each other. So yeah, Aileen is saying brain only recognizes 3 sounds. Layering is really important. Like, too many sounds happens when you're rhythmically confused, I think is the easiest way to say it. The music should always be really, like, it should be really easy to tap your foot, get your body grooving in the music, and feel the beat. It sounds so cliche and so obvious, but you got to be able to feel the beat clearly. And if you have too many sounds on top of each other doing different rhythms and competing with the frequency ranges, all of a sudden you lose that simplicity of the beat. You know, simple beats are like dung, chung, dung, or like dung, ticka, dung, ticka, dung, ticka, dung. You know, there's different rhythms that go with different genres, but you got to be able to pull out the actual rhythm of it should be simple, basically, even if there's a lot of layers. I mean, listen to psytrance and drum and bass. There's tons of layers, but it's still simple. So I can't tell you how many tracks are too many tracks, but the layering should be simple. Okay, so Charles Franco, Overcomplex. Let me type in the name first this time, and then everybody knows what's what. Overcomplex. Track called, I don't know. Unreleased. Okay, here we go. And Umberto, I think I got you long way down coming after this. 11:45. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. I need to turn this one up. Jesper just wrecked us with that bass drop. I'm not sure how loud this is going to drop. Yes, another one. Hey, Octavio's here. What's up? I'll play your track after, because I know you're busy. Charles, this sounds great. Nice build up. Really good sound design. Oh, you tricked me. I thought something else was going to happen. I was like, ooh, ooh. Really good focused low end. Okay, I was just EQing the mid-range a little bit to find out one of those sounds felt a little big around like 1200, 1.5K maybe. Hey, Bo is with us. What's up, man? So Charles, I think your mid-range, some of these synths might need a little bit of an EQ down because when they stack up, the mid-range overall gets kind of peaky, I guess. Really cool sounds though. Oh my God, Trevor's in the house? Dude, I almost played one of your videos for the background. Let me rewind a little bit. I want to go back to that moment I was EQing here. I mean, you need a little bit of work on the mix for the mids, but not a ton. The low end is good. The track is flowing. Okay, right around here. That frequency might be as low as 900 or 1000, but when I cut it down a little bit, the track feels more clean or like easier to listen to right here. Trevor, how old is your baby? Did I see pictures of little babies running around? All right, let me pull this down. 9 months. Yep. Nice ending. All right, Charles, man, great flow in the track. Really nice low end. All this sound design glitchy stuff, I'm back at minute 48. Everything is happening really well together in the events of the track and like the sounds. Just, EQ every channel individually. What I like to do is solo a channel and do my EQ cuts in solo, right? Like cut out the frequencies that hurt my ears, 3000, sometimes 1.6, or even 900, depending on the synth. And then put all my synths into one stereo group and work with the panning and EQ the group as a whole to make sure that when you're listening to your instruments all layered up at the peak of the track, that the combination of them doesn't start ringing too much at, 1000 or 1200 or whatever. I don't know what my Bo, I don't know what my subtitle said. The nipple is down. Yeah, the nipple is down. So I'm going to pause this. I want to keep going because we have so many good tracks today. Charles Franco, I don't have that many comments. That's a really good track. Flows all the way through, stays interesting. The low end is deep and focused, and the mix is really pretty good. Just some mid-range stuff, and then maybe, I don't know, maybe some of those little sound design, like those little like extra things could possibly have some delay on them, bring them up a little louder. Could be fun. But let's see. I want to play a track from Octavio. I know Umberto's waiting, and I got Aileen Nunez on deck and everything, but Octavio doesn't have a lot of time available, so I'm going to play a track called What Do You Know? That's, is that coming through? Okay. A little deep house jam. With some interesting background synths and percussion layers. So I was working on a mix of this, trying to bring up the drums louder and wider. Kind of cool down the vibe. Gotta change the track name. Now we're in the breakdown section. A lot of times I tell people to cut the hi-hats out of the breakdown.
Right? How much do you know about record piracy?
Not much. Except it's very lucrative.
For the pirates, man. But for the writers and the artists and the record companies, it's play.
Yeah, when I'm listening to it, I feel like there's something like a delay on the hi-hats, or maybe two hi-hat layers a little bit out of sync, so they sound like a delay. All right, Trevor, check you later, man. Peter, we played your track already. You got to check the replay. It sounded good. And Octavio, yeah, I don't know if you heard this already. So, I like this track. It's so simple. There's a kick drum and a sub bass, an atmospheric synth player, and then the drums, and that's it. It almost feels like a 4-track mix, like kick, bass, synth, drum beats. A little more complex than that, but it could be that simple. And then a little vocal sample here in the middle. Song structure is awesome. Nice deep house vibe. It brings you right in. We're at 3 minutes. How does it sound on your end, everybody? Do you think the kick drum is big enough or too big? Bo says kick is too muddy. Huh. You knew what I want.
How much do you know about record piracy?
Not much. Except it's very lucrative.
For the pirates, man. But for the writers and the artists and the record companies, play.
I like that breakbeat. That was 320.
How much do you know about
This is like
record piracy?
not breakbeat you don't really hear a lot in house music.
For the pirates, man. But for the
It's almost like a
writers
boom
and
bap
the
kind of
artists
beat.
and the record companies, play.
Little delay. Yeah, for deep house, Matt Schultz, definitely the kick drum can be like muffled, more like oomph, oomph.
Right? How much do you know about record piracy?
Not
Arr,
much.
pirates.
Except it's very lucrative.
For the pirates, man. But for the
I like the
writers
stereo
and the
width on the
artists and
atmosphere synth.
play.
Now that's a different kind of drop. Let me just rewind this a little bit. Before with the like the techie kind of tracks, we would have a breakdown section, a little bit of silence, and then a drop where it was like kick drum, bass line, and one other sound. Now instead of that, we're having a drop with a cymbal crash and all the synths right in there together. Check this out
It's
again.
very lucrative.
For the pirates, man.
YouTube
But for
rip.
the writers and the artists and the record companies, it's play.
Kick drum, sub bass, synth, ride, hi-hat, and a crash. So it's kind of like the full beat kicks in, which is another good technique for the drop, is get to a point in the song where everything drops. Oh shit, we got Scott Burke. I didn't play your tracks yet. And we're at 4 minutes and a half. Let me skip forward a little bit. 5 minutes. And at 6 minutes, now we're heading into the ending of the track where you know it's happening because a couple sounds drop out. I like the little slurpy echoes, like little, I don't know, like staticky kind of stuff in the background of this beat. That's interesting sound design. Bo, question, what do you mean the percussion sounds unharmonic? Like tuning a snare or something? Not sure what you mean. Okay. Got some questions about EQing muddiness out of a kick. Yeah, Umberto, cutting some frequencies can definitely take out muddiness from a kick. If you're having a muddy kick problem, look around 600 hertz, 275, 160, frequencies like that, and then try to boost up 120, 80. Boosting up like 1.2K in a kick drum can really get the click on it, like the smack on the front of the kick. And we're at the fade out section. So, Octavio, great track, cool. I made that mix, so I don't want to say cool mix too much. I like the mix. All right, it's a rough mix I did this morning. So if anybody has comments on that, let me know. And now we're gonna keep cruising through. I'm trying to minimize the time of talking and play more music. So here we go. Rente, Long Way Down. This is our friend Umberto. Go. Nice bouncy beat. Your beats always have a nice bounce to them. Okay, that bass line is not as clear as I would like. Let me go back to like 20 seconds here. Listen when the kick drops out. Right there at 30 seconds, you can hear. I can hear the bass line having a low element and like almost like a pitched melodic thing. So I would like to have a little more of that bass line. The high end of it louder. But these beats have a great feel. Yeah, tech house. Ooh, nice stereo entrance on that synth. Came in like... Umberto, is this 2 layers on the bass sound or is that 1? Good vocal, that's cool. Wow. That vocal really adds a lot. 2 layers, good. Take the upper layer, make it louder. Lower layer, keep it the same. I could definitely see people dancing with this track on.
They will tear your mind away, away, away from yourself. They will tear your mind away.
Yeah, who is that vocal?
Away, away from yourself. Ain't talking, just walking. Ain't loving you more than I can. Ain't talking, just walking. Ain't loving you more than I can.
Okay, 235. This would be a good place to cut out the hi-hats, cut out the top loop. Let those little sound things, chicka chicka, that thing, where was that? Yeah, that little voice loop, down, down, down. All the things that are in this part could be louder and then cut the hi-hats out. There we go. And drop it back in there. Hold on, let me check this out. We're at 230 right here. Imagine if there's no hi-hats right here. Bow, bow. And that little vocal that has like an echo loop going on. Down, 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 down. Make that a bunch louder in this breakdown, and you don't need the hi-hats. What I would do is put a low-pass filter on the drums and just filter them down so you can filter it down, then filter it back up. And the drop. And like we had with Octavio, put a crash right there at 303. Nice, like a China crash cymbal, just a little one, like. That's cool. We're at 3 minutes. New sound comes in, keeps it interesting. Okay, Umberto, a really easy way to make great buildups before the drop. So I'm gonna go back to 3, I'm at 245 right here. Put a low pass filter on those hi-hats with like a resonant peak, you know, like take auto filter with low pass shape, 45% resonance, sweep it down. So at the beginning of this dropout, make that sound of like, right? And then when you're coming in towards the buildup, slowly open the low pass filter again, and all those hi-hats will get more interesting and lead up like in this part. And make that vocal part louder. And I heard a little tap of a and make that louder. So 3 things you can do. There's a vocal thing that's looping on a repetitive loop. Make that louder in the buildup. Use the low pass filter to filter the hi-hats down, and then open the filter back up to create the buildup. And those little extra taps with the kick drum where it goes bump, 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 bump. Definitely make that louder. And right there, those 3 things will make a great buildup. And finally, when the beat drops, hit it with a crash, and you'll be good. Let me skip forward a little bit. We're at 330. I don't know if you need another dropout right here. That might be too soon. Because we just had a breakdown and then a bunch of beats. Bo, I'm not sure what speakers you're listening to, but to me the vocals sound great. I don't think louder would make it better. Maybe. Yeah, Umberto, another one. 357 snare drum build, louder. Kick drum roll, louder. Like that. I'm gonna try to do it on the board. So I'm gonna push the volume up in this build up. Like that, where the snare drum gets louder and louder and louder as you approach the climax. That makes a great build up. And then after that, put your drinks up. This is a fun track. All your tracks have a nice bounce. I would love to hear a DJ set of all your music together in a room full of people putting their drinks up. That sounds like a great party. Aileen, we're gonna get to your track in a second. Let's check the ending here. Yeah, I'm having a hard time making any comments either. There's a couple little things you could do structurally to emphasize the build-ups, but the structure is already there. Now we're in the mix out. And there we go. Okay, I'm gonna train wreck a mix. Bam! Here comes Aileen Nunez. Let me change the titles. Oh, what's the name of your Verdi 25? There we go. So Umberto, bring that back next week with a little more crash and a little better build-ups. Okay, Aileen, what's happening here? We're in the intro. Okay, I'm feeling like there is something not quantized in between the beats. There's a little white noise sweep that's like whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And I think it's not quantized. Check this out right around 50 seconds. That sweep that's going like whoosh, 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 feels like it has a little too much low frequency and it's not exactly quantized. That's noticeable. I'm not sure if that's on purpose or if there's like a... Oh, anyway, cool bass line. Good bass line and kick drum mix. Okay, yeah, radiator does make noise. Okay. I like that string sound. I hear a shaker in the background. That could be a little louder. It's a little too subtle. Nice and heavy right here. This melody sound could be a little louder. Is that fading up? Yeah. Sub bass comes in. At this part, this little white noise thing, if that's the radiator plugin or something, if you could cut it out of this part, there we go. Yeah, let me just go back right here at 354. On the upbeats in between, that little extra thing is like too much. That little white noise, like. Definitely a good groove right here. Let me skip forward. 518. .545, and let's hear how we get out of this. Cut the kick drum and bring it back with the strings. Nice. Feeling the bassline pressure. Good layering with the sub bass and the more like pluck bass. Song structure is awesome. Mix is pretty good. A couple, I guess, little sound design things with that radiator sound. And we're just gonna fade it out. I'm gonna do a deadly mix coming up with some space disco from Scott Burke. Aileen, you're welcome. Okay, Scott is bringing us from some space disco. Nice and bright.
While your feet are stumping and the grind is pumping, look ahead, the grind is jumping. Pump it up. While your feet are stumping and the grind is pumping, look ahead, the grind is jumping up.
All right, little salt and pepper sample. Oh, Wesley Walker, what's up? We played your track at the very beginning first. I thought I could use a little tiny bit more high end on like a high shelf EQ. Jump on the tram. Was this salt and pepper? Was this? Nice synth layers. Technotronic. Sorry. I like that hand percussion a lot. Really clean. I'm not sure the tempo is changing. It's definitely spacey right here. It almost feels like a sitar. That twang. Great sound. Up the jam. Okay, 2 minutes 55. I just wanted the vocal to come in. Yeah, I think people would like this track because it's recognizable, but the beat is really fresh and the sounds are interesting. Yeah. I'm gonna skip forward a little bit, see how we get to the intro, ending. We got 4:48. And here we are, 5:40. And just on cue, we have bass line and beats. Top synths get cut out. Brings it down to the ending. So Scott, how did you make that bass line? Is that a real bass guitar? People want to know. Pump It Up, that is a cool track. Who else do we have? I don't have any major comments for it. Geez. I guess in the middle, after about 4 minutes, there was a point. Okay, around 4 minutes, then 4:30, 5 minutes, 5.5 minutes. After that build up, like at the second half of the song, it feels like all the layers are in there. They all keep going and you're cruising and you're in the beat, which is good for a spacey beat. But I think maybe you could, if you could do something to like maybe add a new little hi-hat layer, like an open hi-hat or one other percussion layer that's new, that might kind of keep it fresh because the second half of the song is very similar to the first half. And after a while, it gets to be like, oh, nothing else is changing or whatever. And that's kind of a harsh thing to say, like, oh, your track's boring. But I don't mean the track is boring. I mean, if you manipulate the percussion layers, you could really like draw focus onto some of the percussion that we didn't hear yet as much and make it kind of feel interesting. Because I like it when the beats keep changing every 4 bars. Now, who did we not play yet? If you're here and I didn't play your track, let me know. A lot of people came in later and I played your track at the beginning. So while we're waiting, we got a chilled out deep house track from Marcus Pick. And let's see how that sounds. Nice drop on that beat. So Marcus Peak looking for suggestions on the flow, the feeling. He said it's almost finished but might need some arrangement. That clap is so wide. Really nice. Feels a little slow for deep house. This feels like 110 but whatever. Ian Waters would play this faster, no surprise there. I like the chord progression a lot, it's really pretty. The bass line, chords. Really pretty. Notice introducing the breakdown with a nice high frequency crash. No hi-hats getting in the way. I wish Marcus was on. I want to know how he recorded this guitar or if that's a sample. Even the finger squeaks on the strings. It's a really clean guitar recording. Once again, kick drum and a bass line. Hand clap. Little reverb. Oh shit, Bo, I didn't play your track yet, sorry. Marcus, this track has sounded great, man. I think your arrangement is totally good. The flow is cool. I don't have any problems with it yet. Not that I want to, you know? So Marcus, if you're listening on the replay, the only thing I really think we could do is speed this up like maybe 3 or 5 BPM. Because the feeling is so good, it could go in a faster set. It doesn't feel bad like this, but a lot of people would like to play this closer to 118 or 120. No, that ending is not enough. Oh my God, no. We only had 4 bars after the beat stopped. Way too short. Put an ending that's a real ending. We need at least 8 bars of music after the beat cuts out, preferably 16 bars, because the guitars are pretty. We want to hang them around in space, listen to them, enjoy them. And Yeah, this track could be a little bit longer. 4:17 is not long enough. Make it like 5 minutes long, add a bit of a longer ending. And maybe throw in a little tambourine, a little extra percussion at the end. I hear a little conga loop in there. Did you hear that? Boom. There is a little bit of a conga loop in there. That could be louder. All right, this is terrifyingly short. Trainwreck, Bodarev, track called Force. And I think this is this released now? Is this just getting published? Congratulations on that. Yeah, Marcus Peak, really nice track. Give us a link to buy it. And now we got Bodarev. Let me put the title in here. And am I playing? Let me know if I'm playing the most updated version too. Not released yet. Cool chords. That's a cool snare drum. It's really low. It's like... Yeah, the snare is like a heavy clave. Nice chords. Really pretty. A lot of comments on this one too. People are saying to be good with a vocal. Little string melody on top. How does it feel? Treat me like you do. All right. That pitch shift is weird. That's like a portamento thing on the notes. Ooh, I don't know. That pitch slide, glide. I had to get used to that. That was a little weird. Nice build up, 327. Ooh, that pitch shift bass is really good. I gotta roll that back. Nice drop. Yeah. This is good shit. Sounds like a James Holden track, like when the sky turns pink. Once again, I'm taking down a little bit of the mid-range around 1500 or 2000. Really cool, man. Good layering. I know everybody had that James like 2006 or something. I think James Holden, that show was the first one I went to when they had the cattle fences up between the crowd and the DJ booth. And I was like, what the hell kind of show do you need a metal fence against the audience? But, you know, whatever. I'm totally enjoying this track. Oh my God, this is epic. You could lose that hi-hat. Perfect. Yeah, put this track out, Bo. I love it. Totally in the groove. 6 minutes. Yeah, like make a video with some dolphins surfing. Totally. This might be the last track of today. I don't know if I can top this. All right, Bo, you're worrying about too many details. Nobody here noticed the delay send level of the intro, like, at all. So that's cool that you're aware of it, but I don't think it's causing anybody problems. I like that ending. Come on. No ads, no ads. All right. Oh, yeah, Bo, that one part with the portamento glide on the lead synth, that was confusing, but then it made sense after I listened to it longer, so you could keep that. Here we're listening to Scott Burke, track called Arcadian, ambient dub tech. This dubby thing is my cheese. This one does have a kick drum that's a little too murky. A little bit of the Burke Merc on there. Meaning the bass line is like huge and the kick drum is kind of like oomph, oomph. So if the kick drum was a bowling ball, this time we have a mattress on top of the bowling ball. So I think your bass line, just bring the volume down a little bit and your kick drum volume up a little bit. Sidechain it and it should be good. Jesper, thanks for hanging out. Ian Waters, out of control, dude. Matt Schultz, what do you think of the dub techno vibe on this one? I like that echo a lot. Okay, we just had a moment. Hold on. I know I gotta stop and talk. So earlier today, I said it's really nice when you hear a chunk of a track where you get the bass line alone or the kick drum alone to really identify which one of those elements has the sub frequencies and which one has the percussion or vice versa. So just right now, I just heard the bass line with no kick drum. Listen to how huge the bass line is and how percussive it is, because that's the basic reason why the kick drum is not coming through super big. And we don't need a kick drum. We don't need this to be like the mother of all kick drums in this track, but the kick is a little bit buried. So let's check it out at 237 right here. Right there, we got to listen to what the bass line is like by itself, and the bass line is kind of overpowering the kick drum. Not a major problem. Nice synth motion. I'm like, it's like doing a circle. Oh, there's a download button on this one. I like it. Yeah, so Scott, a lot of your tracks like bring us into a vibe and then we just like stay in this world of sound, which is really cool. And this part's good. Something dropped out to keep it. Like cutting out a synth layer, using a delay to keep some sound moving. That's really good. All right, Ian, see ya. Is that a steel drum? I love the delay in here. This one could have some really earthy hand drums on here, like a djembe or a conga loop. Like a faster rhythm with the organic kind of sound. Get that organica style happening. Yeah, steel drum vibe. Hey, James is here. What's up? Oh, good. Now we get the kick drum by itself. And there's another bass line in there? Like a mid-range synth. Okay, hold on. Okay, right here, the main bass line dropped out. Oh. And there's a mid-range synth. All right, cool. Yeah, that kick drum sounds amazing with that sub bass line gone. Right here with the kick and that mid-rangey synth drone sounds really good. So get that sub bass lower a little bit. You can actually, the sub bass really shows up a lot even at quiet volume because it's so deep. So do something to get the kick drum a little louder in the mix and the sub bass volume down a little bit. And I think that'll make it more consistent. So as we play through the track with different elements coming in and out, the kick drum stays consistent. And like first there's the sub bass and then it's gone and the other synths and then they're gone. And a nice ending. Scott Burke 3 Bassline Madness. That's a good challenge to mix with. Really nice track, great sound design, great worlds of sound too, and the choices of instruments. So your assignment, should you choose to accept it, lower the sub bass, get the kick drum a little more present, and possibly add a hand percussion layer in the ending part, if you want. That's just my creative idea. I'm going to take it out today with my last track because it's about noon 30 on my end. Try to keep this around 90 minutes so it's actually watchable. But I'm going to play a remix I've been working on from Matt Schultz. And here's what we got. He does a more dubby style. I'm adding some more top loops and making it more housey. And there's a Terrence McKenna vocal in the original, which I clipped out a little bit of a loop. This is 5 minutes coming at you. And while we're listening, let me just do a quick little promo for the Mixitecture members site, where you can get some free presets for Ableton instruments and FX Racks and mix tools. You go to courses.mixitecture.com, click into the panel called Free Presets, and you can sign up for free, no credit card required, to get access to instructions on how to work with presets, which is actually really handy. Bass instruments that are custom things I created from all Ableton stock devices. Synth instruments, pads, leads, plucks, arps, macro mapped control knobs that give you just 8 things to control to play with the sound, so you don't have to go deep into sound design and get all lost. You can just grab the macro knobs and play with them, and they're going to do something good. Drum racks are fun. Those have a lot of like arpeggiators and delays and things to make glitches, especially for drum breaks. And then the FX racks, I love these. Put them on a return channel. A lot of delay things, filters, stuff that you can easily use to create buildups and manipulations. And then mix tools, there's a de-esser in there, a vocal channel strip, a master channel strip. Really handy stuff. And to get in there, all you gotta do is click the button for sign up here. Magic window opens. You put in your name and email address and you get instant access, no credit card required. You can download all these presets, put them in a track and send them to us. Now check this out. Ken and Barbie. So this is a mix I made last week, and I was like not sure about the song form and the structure, but now that I listen to it, it feels like it's just in the groove. I was kind of thinking of like, I mean, this was like a jam. I just played with the layers and improvised it. What do you think about it? I don't know if I need to do more work on it and make it a different song form, or if it's okay like this. We're like halfway through. Yeah, Ken and Barbie, let's just shoot Barbie out into the ocean. Bye. Whoever made this track needs to cut the hi-hats out right here. Matt, no, I think I made a new bass line. So just dubbing out some layers. I used a couple of the original synth pads and effects and stuff and the drums, but then I added on some top loops. Kept your kick drum. This is a remix from a Matt Schultz track, everybody. He gave me the stems. Oh my God, I messed up and didn't change the name. All right. And we're getting down to the end of it. So this has been Track Feedback Live on Saturday, July 24th. Thank you so much for hanging out and watching. This worked so much better for me today without having a lot of private messages coming in. So as we're getting involved with this, I think it's going to be the right thing to do that you post your tracks, your links under the track feedback thing, give other people comments, get involved with their music and their lives. And then it works really well for me to play tracks from the comments so I can grab them from there, and then I don't have the chat window popping up and pinging. And that way I can put in the title as what we're listening to so people know. Oh, thank you for the staccato comment. Jess Brazier, cool. And the ending. Ken and Barbie. That is obviously a sarcastic comment because I do not think that Ken and Barbie are the ideal universe at all. Oh my God. Yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out. This is happening every Saturday, track feedback. So, Matt says the original is going to come out on Dimby Deep. Release date is still TBA. Let me know if the remix can come out on part of that as an EP or something, because I'm almost done with it. I should probably be able to get it to you this week and for mastering and everything. That's all I have for you for this week. I'm going to wrap it up. Go to courses.mixitecture.com, grab some free presets, and check out the other available things. I've been building up some new lessons over the last year, and there's a lot of fun stuff in there for, guess what? Sound design, song structure, and mixing to help you with the 3 things we need to do in our tracks. And if you have any questions, you can always email me, steve@mixitecture.com. And that's going to be it for today. I'm going to start this track over again. I'm going to work on this a little bit right now. Thanks, everybody. Thank you for commenting and hanging out and posting so many great tracks. I love the quality of the music that's coming up. And Monday, I'm going to post a few more new releases in the group. We got a couple new things coming out. Aha, Scott Burke, Matt Schultz, Dub Techno. Get it going. Charles, thanks for hanging out. Bodarev, great music today. Too many people to shout out. So I'm just going to bring it down. And I'll